So if we look at the bony structure of the spine, so we can see, first of all, the Romans knew this, that it's made in an arch shape, the pelvis, so that helps to distribute a lot of load. The actual ilium is in engineering technology, it's called sandwich technology. Basically, you've got trabecular bone inside the pelvis, which is very light, and then over the top you've got what's called cortical bone, which is very thin, but it's 50 times stronger than the trabecular bone.
Right, but that's the same throughout the body, isn't it? Throughout the body structure,
But in the pelvis, you couldn't, the human beings wouldn't be able to function with a heavy pelvis. So there's an incredible evolutionary development where the spine and the pelvis can take a huge amount of weight, because the cortical bone is incredibly strong and the trabecular bone allows for lightness. You've got the pubic symphysis at the front, which is a fibrocartilage disc. In most adults, it's between 2 to 4 millimeters. In postpartum women, it goes up to 8 to 10 millimeters. And that's, again, distributing force across the ilium and it acts.
So the disc increases by 4 times its size in
to widen the birth canal,
Right, but does the disc then shrink again afterwards over a period of time?
Slowly, it does. But if you have multiple pregnancies, it might not shrink very much, and that might lead to some instability. But you've got, you can see the arrangement of the ligament tissue as well. You've got the anterior longitudinal ligament, you've got the ligament of flavum, you've got the iliolumbar ligaments. You've also got, sorry, we spun round the other way, but you've got the sacrotuberous ligament, which interacts with the bicep femoris, and then that links with the glute maximus, and then the thoracolumbar fascia. So there are no muscles that actually activate movement in the sacroiliac joint, but you've got what's called passive closure, which is the anatomical structure, which actually means that as the weight is bearing down, the sacrum is essentially wedged into the pelvis.
If you just turn that towards the camera.
And then you've got all the irregular surfaces to stop too much translation. And then you've got forceful closure, which is all the big muscle groups, the iliopsoas, the glute maximus, piriformis, smaller muscle, and then you've got the pelvic floor, which is very important as well, the pubiococcygeal muscle. They all, when they contract, they all do what Professor Stuart McGill calls bracing. They brace the sacroiliac joints. And then further in the spine itself, you've got all the small muscles which have got very short levers. They're type 1 muscles. They are there to, it's quite misleading with core stability, because they talk about strength, but actually it's about endurance, because type 1 muscles, they're working all the time as soon as you stand up, so they need a lot of endurance. And in fact, they work very submaximally. So when you're walking around doing non-sporting activity, they only activate 5% contraction. When you're doing a sporting event, depending on the sport, it goes up to about 15%.